One here coming at you with a new Yu-Gi-Oh video, and in today's Yu-Gi-Oh video we are going to be doing my Banlist predictions! Yeah, so it's time for the Banlist predictions, seeing as we got the Banlist potentially coming up in a week, I would say at most, I say potentially because there is a chance we won't get one because we haven't had any Konami tournament play, and if we ain't got any Konami tournament play, it's kind of like, oh, does Konami want to make the ban list if we haven't had a chance to actually play with any of the cards that they've been releasing? But hell, even though it is this time in Yu-Gi-Oh where we can't really go to locals or anything like that, they could still give us a ban list. So I want to give you guys my ban list predictions anyway, because there is still potential of Konami giving us a ban list. So, though, with me saying that, without further ado, let's get into my Banlist predictions. Because, hey, it's Banlist time, boys. Yeah. But yeah, so we're going to be doing my Banlist predictions today. I've got my mouse to move the pictures around so I can actually see what I'm talking about. And let's go into this. I can see them, but it's just like names, isn't it? So, for the first card that I think is going to be banned is Jet Synchron. Now, I can give you two reasons right now why Jet Synchron should be banned. 1. Glow Up Bulb is banned. 2. Steam the Cloak is banned. This card is literally those two monsters to make a 1-card Needle Fiber combo. Well, 1.5 technically, because you need to discard a card. Like, come on, I don't really think I need to say any more than that. It's a literal 1.5 card combo to make Needle Fiber, and it's literally 1 card technically because you just normal summon the Jet Synchron, make Link Revo, discard a card you don't need in your hand. Konami missed a tuna. It was Jet Synchron. It's basically Glow Up Bob and Steam the Cloak. Yep, that card's going to be banned. So yeah, Jet Synchron will be banned purely because it's a 1-card Needle Fiber combo, just like Glow Up Bulb and Steam the Cloak, so it makes the most sense. And there are others, such as Despot 003 and the Lefty and Righty Driver, but they play Garnets, which is why they're a little more fair in the game, because when you're playing a brick, it means that you're playing something to get into something else with a brick. You draw the brick, it's not as good. See what I mean? But there is no brick with Jet Synchron, so that's why I think Jet Synchron will be banned because of it. Next card that we banned, Moon and Glacia. Moon and Glacia will be banned purely because of the Mermail hand loops. Literally, I keep seeing like 1 to 2 card combos that are Mermail hand loop oriented, and it all revolves around literally Moon and Glacia sniping 2, Deep Sea Aria sniping 1, then also with Omega or Trishula sniping 2 more, which is 5. And on your opponent's turn, you literally make the skipper there's Synchro Tuna with Needle Fiber to take the last card out of your opponent's hand. And it's even more consistent because of the Deep Sea cards being able to look at your opponent's hand and snipe a hand trap. So Do I have to go further? You're able to 6-card hand loop your opponent with ease because of Deep Sea cards, Trish, Omega, Moon and Glacia. It makes sense to ban Moon and Glacia in this case because it just prevents a 6-card hand loop, and it's the same thing, and it gives you the same vibes as Gunblood Dragon as well, because Gunblood Dragon allowed you to hand loop your opponent, and Moon and Glacia is allowing you to hand loop your opponent, so getting rid of it makes the most sense to me. Seeing as they're also bringing back Deep Sea Diva cards, they won't re-hit Diva, so just makes sense. Next, Dragon Buster, the Destruction Sword. Let's be honest, this card says your opponent can't summon from the extra deck. And it's not just that. That's not the only reason, because obviously there are ways to out something like this. Such as MST, Cosmic Cyclone, Lightning Storm, anything that destroys face of cards. But the main reason why I think this card will be banned is because it's never made on its own. It's always made along with negates, such as Boral Savage, Herald of Arclight, Pendulum monsters that negate. Like, it's never made on its own, and because of that, I think it will be banned. And also, if it could be stopped by Dark Ruler no more, this is another point that, to me, thinking it should be banned, it wouldn't be banned, but because it is an equipped spell, technically when it's equipped to a monster, Dark Ruler No More has no point in stopping it, and Konami making a card like Dark Ruler No More to stop boards that say your opponent can't play the game, It makes sense banning a card that's banning a card that can't be affected by a card that is literally made to say you're going second is slightly easier. And I personally feel like this card will be banned because, one, you make it with multiple negates. Two, if you don't open Dark Rule anymore plus a back row disruption to get rid of it, you're not playing the game. And three, negate boards plus stopping extra deck. Come on, that's not fair. It's basically you can't play the game. This card says you can't play the game along with other cards, so it's the primary card that I think will be banned because it's not affected by Dark Rule no more. Simple as that. And the next card that I think will be banned is, and the only other card I think will be banned, is True King of All Calamities. This is the same reason as Destruction Whelp, in my opinion. Basically, you can't play... Dark Rule no more has no effect on this card. It literally doesn't, seeing as you summon this card. During the standby phase, you activate its effect, and then your opponent cannot activate any effects of a specific attribute. Your opponent cannot attack, and Dark Rule no more can't even stop it for the pure fact you do it in the standby phase. So having the ability to prevent your opponent from playing the game, just like Buster Whelp, along with some other negates, and even is the same thing. Like, you've got cards such as Dark Rule no more in the game to make the game easier, but then there are these cards in the game that say you can't play the game before you can activate Dark Rule no more. And anything that really says you can't play the game is not a fair thing in the game, so I feel like the fact that these cards exist, the Destruction Sword Whelp and also VFD, and they're completely unaffected by cards like Dark Rule no more, it makes sense to ban the cards like that, seeing as they just can't be dealt with you. You can't do anything against them, so what's the point? And also, that does give me a point to say Utopic Zexal, it will be banned at some point, but I don't think it will be banned now for the pure fact that we haven't got the Numeron cards yet. So when we get the Numeron cards, or when they are announced, we will probably see a banning of Utopic Zexal. But just for now, VFD, because it's very similar to the Destruction Whelp. The Dragon Buster. The Dragon Buster Destruction Sword. I keep getting its names mixed up. There's so many of the little guys. But yeah, that's the ban section. I feel like all these cards will be banned. Obviously, one card Needle Fiber combos are not fair. Full hand loops are not fair. And stopping your opponent from playing the game, it's not fair. Konami should deal with these if there is a ban list. Onto limited cards, though. Things that I think will be limited. The first card that I think will be limited from is actually going to be Block Dragon. Now, obviously, everybody's saying Block Dragon should be banned. I see so many people saying, oh, ban Block Dragon, it's insane, it makes Adamantipator do all these things, it's such as free cards, but I don't think it will be. And I'm looking at it from the standpoint that, yes, the card is absolutely broken, but where's the Konami tournaments that the card has been played in? And that's my reasoning behind this. Pretty much, Konami aren't gonna ban a card that was released, that is good in a specific deck, that hasn't had its time in any real tournaments, and it's only been released for like, I want to say 2 months, but even though it's been released that long, there's been no events to play said deck in, outside of online events that don't really go into Konami's area. And let's be honest, if Konami literally just full-on killed Adamantipator and Elderlich, would you be happy with that? Like, spending all that money on a deck that literally has never had any real tournament play, and I mean with physical cardboard, would you be happy if Konami just literally killed that deck outright before it even got the time to shine? So I feel like them limiting Block Dragon will be the most likely thing to happen, because free Block Dragon, that's absolutely insane. There's literally so many ways to get to it that way, but if you only have one, that really only gives you 2 options to get to Block Dragon, really, in Adamantipator. One being through Gallic Granite, which you can just Ash Blossom or Imperm, or 2 through Foolish Burial, which you can Ash Blossom. So there are ways to stop the Block Dragon, and if you do prevent the Block Dragon, the deck can still function anyway. So I just feel like hitting it to 1 will keep the deck still functionable, and also give it players to play a somewhat of a full power area, but will also balance the deck a bit, because you won't have all these chances of drawing it every time and going absolutely insane. So I feel like Block Dragon will go to 1, just as a little bit of a tap on the wrist to Adamantipator, so it's not absolutely insane. But I just don't see it being banned right now, not until at least we get a proper amount of tournament play with it. So yeah. But going into other cards that I think will be limited, 1, Skull Crobat Joker. I don't see Pendulums going insane with Skullcrobat Joker. I'm sorry. I love Pendulums with so much of my heart, but let's be honest. Pendulum has left Magician's Odd Eyes and Performer Powers behind. It's still decent. Like, Harmonizing Magician is still a great card, but it's now all about Endymion, Mythical Beasts, and that's really it. Like, I don't see Pendulum really getting any extra buffs from Joker coming back. Like, sure, it'll make it a little easier to get to a Harmonizing Magician, but you still have Pendulum Call and stuff to do that anyway. And Joker coming back to 1, it's not going to really do anything, because you want your normal summon 9 times out of 10 to go to a Blue Boy nowadays, so it's not even going to do much in the game. And that's kind of my thinking behind it. Like, Pendulum haven't really been doing anything either in Yu-Gi-Oh! As well right now. In even any online tournaments, I've seen like 1 or 2 tops here and there. So I honestly could see this deck, this card coming back just for the fact that it would just give something back to Pendulum. Pendulum having been doing anything, this card wouldn't give them a massive boost coming back to 1. So I could honestly just see it coming back and see what happens. I don't really see any real massive changes. It might bring back Sorcerer, just so you can search it and then normal summon a Harmonized Magician, but after that you've already special Pendulum summoned with Pendulum Sorcerer. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on Skullcrobat Joker. Also, another card is Blaster, Dragon Rule of Infernos. Now, let's look at all the Dragon Rulers on the list while I say this. Dragon Rulers, they're good cards. They're good cards, I'm not going to lie. They had a whole format to themselves. They're absolutely insane. We've got one back, which is Tempest. But let's be honest. Look at Dragon Rulers in a nutshell. They're not that great at all on their own. They need specific attribute decks to be busted, otherwise they're not going to do anything. Now, yes, Tempest was used in Rocket, but Rocket have pretty much died off the map, and plus with an errata of Red MD, that's going to change the deck to a huge margin anyway, so the deck won't be super powerful as well. Also, the only deck that I could see Blaster being put in, potentially, is Salamangreat. And that's still not a good choice to put in Salamangreat, because you don't want to banish your resources. And hell, even its discard effect, to discard itself and a fire monster, to destroy a card on the board, that's not that good either. So honestly, looking at Dragon Rule, looking at Blaster, I honestly don't see this card being a bad card to come back to 1. Like, looking at the other 2, if you brought back Tidal, that would be abused in Mermails. If you brought back Redox, that would be abused in Adamancipator. But in Blaster's case, it can only be used in Salad and potentially Rockets, but I don't see it being particularly busted or even used in Salad, because you don't want to banish your resources. So, hey, I personally feel like it could come back very easily. I don't think it's that bad of a card to come back, and it definitely could. So that's just my thoughts on that. But other cards to come back to 1, Harpy's Feather Duster. Please, Konami. We've got Lightning Storm. Lightning Storm. Tell me. Why does it deserve to still be banned? Like, come on. Like, Lightning Storm is still at 3. And Harpy's Feather Duster is at 0. Half the effect of Lightning Storm is Harpy's Feather Duster, so bringing Harpy's Feather Duster back to 1, it wouldn't really do anything. Honestly. Like, I don't see the issue with it coming back to 1 at all. And it doesn't make sense for it to be at 0 at all as well, even seeing as we do have Lightning Storm. And also, Konami, the game is so going first oriented, give us more ways to go second, otherwise, what's the point? Like, literally, going first is literally easy, but going second, you have to be spending hundreds of pounds on, like, Lightning Storms or evenly matches, but giving us back something like this when it's already on a card in the game that you literally released to be a busted card with 2 broken effects, which one was Lightning Vortex, and the other one was Harpy's Feather Duster. Konami, give us Harpy's Feather Duster back. There's no reason for it not to be limited, and bringing it back to 1, it wouldn't do anything in the game. Let's be completely honest. It would give you slight easier matches against Eldritch. And also, Eldritch just make tons of negates anyway, so hey. But yeah, I can see Harpy's Feather Duster coming to 1. Cards that will go from other numbers to 1 though, is Magical Meltdown. Now, Invoked are an absolutely insane engine. It can be splashed in so many different decks. Mech Knights, Shadow, Elder Lich. It can be splashed in so many decks that don't even need a normal summon. And because of that, I feel like it will be hit. One, the main reason to slightly give a hit to Elder Lich, because that deck is absolutely insane. And two, because this deck is off the charts, being able to go in so many different decks and be so broken that I could honestly just see a Magical Meltdown going one, just to hurt the consistency of Invoked a bit, and also indirectly hit Elder Lich a bit as well. So that's my main reasoning for that. I just see that happening for that reason. Next, though, Fossil Dig. This spell card is Rotor. Rotor is at 1. It searches Oversoul. It searches Distynomiscus. Give me a reason why this card should be at 3. Because I don't see one. Like, the dinosaurs are so consistent as is, with 3 Oversoul, and also now 3 of the dinosaur, the little crocodile dinosaur thing, that searches any pill and also destroys a baby in your hand. Like, I don't see why this card should be at 3. Like, literally, it can search literally any dinosaur. Reinforcements of the army searches any warrior, and dinosaurs have proven time and time again that they're absolutely insane. So I could honestly see this card going to 1. It's like, dinosaurs can do so much, and they kind of need a hindrance, especially after giving them back 3 Deinonymiscus and 1 Lithosagem. So take something away from them again. They're insane. They really are. And they can even use cards like Pot of Extravagance as well. So let's be honest. If you're able to use draw cards along with search cards, just no, put it to 1. Put it to 1. But yeah, I see Fossil Dig going to 1. But that's all the cards that I think will be limited. I don't really see anything else being limited. I feel like everything else is pretty fine where it is in the game right now. Like, you could potentially hit stuff more in Elder Lich and more in Adamancipator, but I just don't see those decks getting hit without actually having real tournament play in them. But on to semi-limiteds now. First, Necros of Unicorn. Let's be honest, Necros, they've done nothing for years. I doubt giving them 1 more Necros of Unicorn would be a big deal. Sure, it has a skill drain-esque effect for extract-based monsters, but that's kind of a good thing, because if you actually resolve it and you summon it, that gives you another going second means. And sure, you can also discard it to add Necros cards back from the graveyard, but what relevant Necros card are you adding back from the graveyard? Honestly, like, I guess Valkyrus? A ritual spell? I just don't see the card being absolutely insane anymore. And you can stop it really easy with, like, Dark Ruler no more, Impermanence, pretty much anything that would deal with this card. It's not that big a problem anymore, and I can definitely see this card going to 2, sorry, from the limiteds to semi-limiteds. Another card, Ritual Beast Ulti Hawke. This deck is bad. It's not consistent enough. It's not easy to do, seeing as you need to open both a Tamer and a Ritual Beast, preferably Elder and Hawke. Funny enough, they're the ones that are riding each other. Well, Elder's riding Hawke. And, like, why? Why does this card need to be on the number it is? Like, it's not even bad. It wouldn't make turns go infinitely long. And looking at all the other turns in the game that are going to, like, 10 plus minutes because of your infinite combos that end on multiple negates, that I just draw Dark Ruler more and then stop you for the turn. Ulti Hawke can go to 2. I don't think it needs to stay at 1 anymore. It wouldn't break the game. The deck's really not consistent enough. It's not good enough. So just give it back a Hawke. It's not going to change the game. And we haven't even seen any Ritual Beast come back in Master Rule 5. Come on. Let's be honest there. And the last card that I think will go to 2 is Raigeki. Raigeki's done nothing. It's not even been used in majority of side decks. Just give us more going second cards, because the amount, like, literally the amount it costs to go second Konami is absurd, and just giving us more cards to go second is really nice. Literally, it doesn't need to be at 1. Raigeki at 2 would do nothing, in my opinion. And the final card that I think will be unlimited, I only think only 1 card will be unlimited, and that's Sky Striker Widow Anchor, for the pure fact that Sky Strikers have been doing nothing. They've had, like, 1 top in, like, the Disciples Invitational event, and they haven't really done anything else outside of that. Without Engage, the deck is fairly balanced, and I feel like Widow Anchor to 3 wouldn't make the deck broken, so I feel like this card could go to 3 very easily. But yeah, that's my ban list predictions, guys. These are all my thoughts and opinions on the cards that I think that'll be hit and on the format in a bit. But guys, tell me what your thoughts on this list are. Do you think some of these cards will be hit? Do you think some of these cards won't be hit? Tell me your thoughts of it in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions, and hell, even your ban list predictions as well. I would love to hear them. But guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to support the channel. If you're feeling generous, there is a link in the description that all the proceeds go back to the channel. But you don't feel pressured to do it. You don't have to. But yeah. That's been the video. Like, comment, subscribe, as I said before. If you liked it, please tell me. I would love to know your thoughts and opinions. If you think something that should be changed, tell me your thoughts and opinions on that too. And yeah, Konami, hit these cards that say you can't play the game. Ban Moon and Glacia. Ban Destruction Well. Ban True King. We want to play the game. But yeah, that's the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Konami, ban these cards for the love of God.